Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joe Simpson. It is Friday. Thank God. I want to apologize ahead of time for my voice. I've had some terrible allergies this week, and I'm finally getting better. But man, were they ripping me apart all week. But anyway, I wanted to talk today about swim baits. When you think of a swim bait, most people are going to think of right away the Kitech, either 3.8 or the 4, the 4.8 Kitech swim baits. These are probably the most well-known and probably some of the best swim baits out there. They have one big downfall. The major problem with the Kitech swim baits is they fall apart pretty easy. You catch maybe 1-2 fish on one bait, and then you got to throw it away or put it in a bag for melting down later, and then get another one. Now, they do work well. I'll give them that, and they're almost as good as they get. But sometimes you just don't want to have the hassle of dealing with a swim bait that falls apart. But the trouble is you want to find a bait that's going to swim like those and look good, but also stay together, which brings me to ElaZtech Z-Man 10X Tough DieZel Minnow. So I wanted to take a little time today to go through the DieZel Minnow and show you a perfect hook for these, because the DieZel Minnows can be a little tough. And you might say, like, Joe, what's the big deal about the DieZel Minnow? And I'll show you, if you were to do this with a Kitech, I mean, look at that. Hello. And they say if you do this to the DieZel Minnow, it will actually open the pores of that rubber and make it more buoyant, because these float. If you throw this in the water, I'm pretty sure the ElaZtech material floats. If you throw a Kitech in the water, it's going to sink to the bottom, which is neither good or bad. It just depends on what you're going for. So you have to weight these ElaZtech minnows down with a little bit of a weight, like a weighted swim bait hook. And one that I like to use that is really good for rigging is the Chinlock Z. The Chinlock Z is a weighted swim bait hook made specifically for the ElaZtech DieZel minnows and other ElaZtech type of products. So let's rig one up. I'll show you what it looks like, and you guys can tell me what you think. So the first one I'm going to pull out is one of these DieZel Minnow 4-inch, and this one is the color known as Hot Snakes, and it's really good. I have two sizes of hook for this one for today. So the first one I'm going to use is the 3/0 Chinlock hook on this 4-inch swim bait. And what you want to do, it's pretty easy. You want to nose hook the tip of that bait. So what you want to do is take this hook right through the tip of this bait like this, okay, to where it's right through the front. And you pull everything through. Don't worry, it's not going to rip. You just work it over there. You work it over this front section. And once you get over the front section, you can see the eyes sticking out right where you can tie it on. And then you take this hook and you do like you normally do, figure out where you're going to go through on that bait. And then you just turn it, go up through it. So you guys want to be careful when you're hooking these to do it kind of straight, because these don't swim great when they're not straight. That all rhymed. They don't swim great when they're not straight. That's better right there. So you can see that hook is embedded down into that fin, making it very weedless and easy to swim. And it's got the weight that's going to bring this thing down nice and even. It's got weight in the front, weight in the back, and it's going to make this thing kind of fall down the way you want it to. The 4, of course, is bigger. We're going to do it the same way. You just come through the chin. Don't worry too much about it. When you end up coming through the nose, you end up like that. And then you take your hook and you find out where it's going to penetrate through the back, and you come through the back nice and easy, keeping it as straight as possible. And you can see that hook will rise right out of that split fin. You want it down in that fin. And when you set the hook, these things compress so much, it's like chewing gum. You can see that hook presents itself really quickly. And these Chinlock Z hooks are super, super sharp. So you don't have to worry about those things penetrating and getting a good hook set. I find these to be really good at getting a good hook set. And then you pull it off. And one thing I will say about storing these tails will get out of whack on you pretty quick if you're not careful. So you want to store these things in their original case. These swim baits come with a formed case. You want to definitely put them back in those cases before putting them back in their plastic. Because if you just throw them in a plastic bag and make like a wad of these things, you'll end up with some messed up tails and some weird swimmers. So store these back in the original containers. And I'll do one of these 6/0 hooks in a 5-inch swim bait. Take the bait, nose hook it like this. Come through with everything. Don't be shy. Roll it up over the Chinlock portion. Then you've got your eye here to be tied on and exposed. And then you just find your penetration point on the swim bait. You don't have to really do a whole lot. Just make sure you get it up through the middle. You can see how it sticks up through the backside, and you just recess it back down. And once you're done, you have a concealed hook and a pretty straight swim bait. All right, it's not that straight, but you can see how these tails are pretty loose, and you'll get a pretty good action out of these. Now, the action on these swim baits are not going to be as good as the Kitech. The Kitech can be a lot slower reeled in, and it has more of a kick, but these are indestructible. So they definitely have their places. If you're going for, you know, definite appeal or real slow reel, or something that wants to be fished right along the bottom, really super slow with a lot of action, then the Kitechs might be the way to go. But if you're looking for something that will hold up to some bad environments and maybe help you catch lots and lots of fish without, you know, falling apart on you, then the Z-Mans work well too. One thing about the Z-Mans is you can use these as trailers for chatterbaits, and they work really well for that. So keep that in mind. Something like that on a chatterbait's going to hold up for all day usage. So anyway, wanted to bring those to you. Hope you guys have a great weekend of fishing. Hope everybody gets to go out. I'm not sure 100% if I can yet or not, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll stop saying but. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Like and subscribe below. I appreciate y'all for coming and watching my videos, and I'll have more coming out soon. Thanks. See you. Bye.